me tell you, you guys don't even have any clue on how hard it was to rank these palettes. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So I am so excited to be here today. This is kicking off a special week on my channel and we are celebrating Mama Pat. It is her birthday. Her birthday is June 11th and myself, Beauty and the Frizz and Yachty Beauty, we are putting up fun content every day this week celebrating Pat McGrath. So it's Pat McGrath all week. Yes! Happy birthday, Ma, okay? So go ahead, make sure you check out their videos. And if you're a content creator, make sure you post looks on Instagram, tag us, join in the fun, do a couple videos. We're expecting to see some of y'all. I'm not going to call you guys out by name, but I know a lot of y'all love Pat McGrath, so I want to see some stuff being posted to Instagram and YouTube. But before we get started, let me go ahead and introduce myself. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you're an oldie but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup, so that's why we go by Dr. Ash and her makeup. And eyeshadow is really my jam, but please just call me Ash or Ashley. And I love Pat McGrath. I mean, honestly. This look, Pat McGrath, and if you're wondering how to get this look, it will be coming up later on in the week because I did film it for you guys, okay? So today we are ranking my Pat McGrath palettes, and I thought like no better way to like kick off the week by doing this video. This video has been great and iconic for my channel. I think a lot of people found me from ranking my Pat McGrath palettes. I did this video back in 2019 and now this is volume 2 because, you know, Mama Pat, she's been putting out palettes. So at that time I had 18 palettes and now I have 25. So there is still a couple palettes I do not have in my collection and I'm okay with that. At the time I did not have platinum bronze. I do have platinum bronze now, and the 3 that I'm missing is Metamorphosis, which was a Christmas release from 2018. I do believe it was a 6-pan palette. And I'm okay with that because there are a lot of repeat shades in that. I do not have 2 of the small eye Ecstasy kits, but those were all repeat shades. And I have her original eye Ecstasy kit. And then I do not have 2 quads from the 2020 holiday season, which is Flora Fantasia and Risque Rose. And I'm perfectly okay with that too, at least at the moment. I'm not salty. I got a little salty over platinum bronze. I was like, you know, I was a little salty after a while I didn't have it, but I was able to find this on Macari, brand new, and at like the original price point. So, we have a lot to get through. Let me go ahead. Let me shut up. Let's get to ranking these palettes, okay? So I just want to go ahead and let you know that this is in no order. We are doing is surely in the order I like it in, okay? Just like it was last time in my last video. So it is quads mixed in with bigger motherships and mixed in with 6-pan palettes. So coming in at number 25 is this little baby right here. This is the Divine Rose Luxe Quad in Eternal Eden, okay? If you guys know me or you watch my channel, you know I don't really care for this palette. And this palette came out, I would say, actually this year in 2020 around Valentine's Day. It is a quad if it looks used. This was actually my face palette before Mama Pat just gave us blushes on May 21st, okay? She finally gave us blushes. So I was using these 2 shades as blushes. So I was getting my money's worth out of the quad, and then I would sometimes pop in this as a highlighter. Now, as an eyeshadow palette, it just doesn't do anything for me. It's pretty. I mean, you get a nice soft pink look. If more understated is your vibe, then I feel like this is something that would be perfect for you. But for me, it was just nothing special about this quad. We have this pink shade so many times over, but actually on the cheeks I just like it better. So I'm just not in love with it, but I'm not mad about it because these 2, like, she doesn't have a blush like this in her collection, so I still will continue to use it. And I've just actually thrown this quad over in my cheek section of my vanity because that's where it gets the use. But yeah, Eternal Eden is number 25. Number 24, Mothership Sublime Gold and Opulence. Now, if this was based off of packaging, this would just get an A. It might be at the front of the line. I believe this packaging is so beautiful. It's so smooth. It looks like glitter, but doesn't feel like glitter. The big hieroglyphs on the front is everything. I love this little bungee system. Now I love it, but I don't love it at the same time, because when you have the bungee system, you do have the extra flap, but the colors in here are a little bit more understated and you do get some pretty looks. Now I do appreciate that you had this more light tone brown matte, because at the time when she came out with this palette, we didn't get those peachy type of brown mattes, and it was a different type of hue or undertone for brown. And then you have this beautiful shade right here, this deep chocolate matte. That would be let's see, well, I can't see because I don't have my card, but the shimmers are in here are just okay. And then you do have your standard gold. I mean, it's just okay. I mean, you get some nice looks. When I do wear it, I do like the looks that I get when I'm in the mood for it, but this is just not a palette I normally gravitate to. But I must admit, like, this packaging, it's everything. Number 23 is this little eye ecstasy kit, and this is the only eye ecstasy kit that she did in this format, and I really like this little eye ecstasy kit. This is 6 shades. You get a little bit of artwork with it, you know, and then you get this sleek little palette. It's cardboard. This kit was super affordable. It also came with like a glitter and a mascara, but you do have 6 shades that, you know, are never seen before. So her collection, at the time they were brand new. None of these are repeat shades, but you do have similar color stories now with some of her palettes. I think you have like just the right amount of shades. These shades are the same great formula that you find in her palette, and you get some really great looks, and you can pop this in your bag and travel with it with ease. So I do like it. And you know, you got the mauves, you got your brown, you got your black. You could do it every day. You could go on out at night on the town. So I mean, it's great quality, but you know, it's just a little understated. It's cute, it's petite, and it serves its purpose. So that is number 23. Number 22. Mothership 7 Divine Rose 1. Now this mothership is actually really beautiful. It's one of her most popular motherships out of her collection, and I can see why, because you know, this is a mothership where people are like, yes, I can use this. Yes, it's not too much. Yes, I'm going to get beautiful looks. Yes, I'm going to get great everyday looks. And I feel the same way about it, okay? But it just doesn't it doesn't move me all the time. But I do really like the shades. I do enjoy having this in my collection. But when I line them all up, it just comes in at number 22. I mean, I can't help it. But this right here, this golden shade, this shade is actually so beautiful. Maybe I should pull out the card so I can tell you what shade it is. This is actually VR Rose Venus. It is gorgeous. It is a beautiful peachy gold dual chrome, so I do appreciate this shade. You do have some repeat shades in this palette, so it doesn't make it as special as some of the other shades. This particular shade right here, this is the Incandescent Pink 002. It shows up in a highlighter formulation. I'm just not a big fan of it at all. Like, yes, I could like pop a little bit right there on the cheeks, but it's just all right. So, and then you do have this shade right here, which is, you have Rose Dusk, and Rose Dusk is actually a repeat that you see in Mothership 2. So it's beautiful, but it's very understated, and I feel like, you know, the textures and the mediums in this is very easy for a lot of people to gravitate towards. But when I think of Pat McGrath, I think about this. Like, I want all the glitz, the glamour, everything. But I do understand this and why this is so popular. But like I said, for me, it's just coming in at 22. Coming in at number 21, we have Rose Decadence. And this was really a hard decision for me, because I like this palette, but I don't like this palette at the same time. So what I really love about this palette is this shade right here, Peach Dusk. I think it is beautiful. I love the hue of it. I love the tone of it. And we don't have anything like that in our collection. And then I love the shade Hedonistic Rose. Even though we do have Aubergine mattes in her collection, it's just a different hue. You know, I love this shade right here, which is called Scandalous. I love a good coppery bronze shade, but where it falls a little flat, this particular shade, I want to say, it's called Golden Nectar and then Fuchsia Shock. this is Fuchsia Flame. Fuchsia Flame, it's a little hard to pick up. It's just okay. But so really the star of the show for me is just like these 4 shades right here. But it's such a beautiful palette. And I don't know, it's just like, it seems like these 2 shades, it's just not that same formula when it comes to the smooth metallics or those velvety shades that Pat McGrath does. Like this one is the Scandalous, but something about the Golden Nectar, I think it has just too much glitter and it's a little bit too chunky. And then Fuchsia Flame, it's just a little hard to pick up. So it's such a shame, but the color story is really, really gorgeous. I think at the time when it came out, we were kind of sick of this color story, to be honest, but it's really beautiful and I do enjoy wearing this palette. So, Rose Decadence, but she's really beautiful though. I mean, but after a while it gets a little hard when you have to rank things. Coming in at number 20, we have Interstellar Icons. So I would say around this mark, it definitely started hitting harder for me to rank these palettes. But this palette came out, or this quad, I should say, came out in 2020 for the holiday season. And it is just a gorgeous quad. Now you do have a repeat shade, which is of course the Blue Blood shade. You can find this in Decadence. You can find this in some of the Ecstasy kits. But the formula of this quad is just so gorgeous. Now you do have the shade that's called Hypnotique, which is really beautiful, which is kind of like a play and a dupe on the shade Interstellar that's in the palette Interstellar Icons. I mean, I find that you can get some really beautiful looks. Divine Dahlia is gorgeous. Every time I wear this palette, I do love it so much. But then at the same time, you know, I do have some things like Dark Star in my collection that just stand out a little bit more to me. So that's why this one is ranked a little bit further down. But overall, I feel like this quad is really gorgeous. You get great earthy tone looks. You have that pop of blue. The blue is just not too bold and too in your face. And overall, I really do enjoy this quad. Number 19 is Mothership 2, and this is the Sublime Palette. And this is the beautiful artwork that goes along with it. Now, it was hard for me to put this palette here because I just didn't know where it should go. But I love the shade, this Blitz Emerald. I mean, it is so gorgeous. This is one of the original 3 of the Motherships. You have some fun pops of color. Like I said, just the green, and then you have the gold. If you cover this palette up, it's pretty neutral. So, but I do like how you have this particular velvet / shimmer satin formula from Pat McGrath, because you do get really great looks. You have that repeat shade. This is the original Rose Dusk. I just mentioned that in Divine Rose 1. But then at the end, you have this Astro Ghost Luna. And for me, like Astro Ghost Luna, it just doesn't do it. I think that's the same shade basically that was, I mean, it's not the same shade, but it's basically like the same shade that was in Divine Rose 1. So it kind of just dulls the palette down for me. But if not Blitz Emerald, this particular shade right here, which is VR Nectar, is one of the stars of the show. The shift is just absolutely gorgeous on this shade. And kind of reminds me of the shade Stylishly Mary. And also kind of reminds me of one of the shades that you can find, which is that Fire Rose quad, the Voyeuristic Vixen, the Fire Rose shade. But overall, I feel like this palette is really beautiful. You can get great looks. The Bronze 005, this particular Bronze 005, it's just not my favorite. It's a little bit more gritty versus the other 005 shades that are a little bit more smoother. So coming in at number 19, we have Mothership Sublime. All right, coming in at number 18, we have this beautiful Blitz Astro Quad in Iconic Illumination. And this was the first time she gave us quads. This was back in, 2019. And oh my gosh, this quad is just simply gorgeous and just so beautiful. I mean, it is a little bit more understated, but it's understated with a pop. You do have these beautiful shades like the Blitz Bordeaux and the Blitz Brown and this very beautiful golden shade. I can't ever really remember the names of this particular quad because I want to say my card was messed up. Oh no, I actually have an okay card. Okay, no, it's my Nocturnal Nirvana card that was messed up. So like the bronze gold is just so gorgeous. And even though you don't have any mattes in here, like this particular brown shade, the Blitz brown, you can blend it in the crease. You get this nice, beautiful sparkle pop, and it's so beautiful. Like, I just love this quad around the holidays. You get very great looks. They're more neutral, but they have that pop and that glow to them, and I appreciate it, and it just looks really great on my skin complexion. So I really do enjoy this quad. So like I said, number 18 is Iconic Illumination. New to my collection, coming in at number 17, we have Mothership Subliminal, and this is Platinum Bronze. So this is the one I was telling you about that I was like, I didn't have, and I didn't think it was in my color story, and things I like, and then I was just salty, and I was like, oh my god, I need the palette, and it went on sale, and then it never came back. But it's really, really gorgeous. I mean, honestly, it's so pretty. It's just the right amount of cool tones. You get those nice beigey pops, you get a little mauve, you get the nice understated gold, and the formula is just so silky. You have like one matte and the rest of those beautiful velvety shimmers and metallics that I talk about with Pat McGrath, that you can just either, you can put it on the lid or you can use it on the crease, and I just think it's really gorgeous. I haven't had a chance to play around with it, but when I do wear it, I do like the palette. Alright, so this is where it just really just starts getting hard. So coming in at number 16, we have the Blitz Astro Quad in Ritualistic Rose, okay? And this quad is so pretty. It was one of the first rosy, well, not really, because you had Divine Rose 1 already, but this one is just so beautiful. I mean, you get some really pretty sparkly shades. It's a little bit softer. You can get some ethereal looks. I love how this shade blends out. Like I just talked about, these Blitz shades, they blend out just like a matte, even though it lends a little bit of sheen. And what really does it for me is like Astro Rose Orchid. That shade is so beautiful. Also the shade Rose Quartz. I mean, you just get some beautiful shades, and even though the look's a little bit more understated, like you just get all the sparkle, the glitz and glamour, and I just feel like it's nothing really boring about this quad, even though it's, you know, maybe not the craziest of color story. Number 15, we have Mothership Subliminal Mothership 1. This palette is gorgeous. She did not come to play. She is cool tone. She is giving you dark and sexy. She is giving you bold pop of blue. She is giving you light and beigey and taupes. Like she is giving you ethereal looks with these Blitz shades. I mean, and the formula just does not lose every time. Every time I use this palette, I'm just like more and more shocked. I'm happy about it. I don't dip into it a lot, but I really, really enjoy it, and it's just so different across the board compared to the rest of her palettes. So even though I'm not like the biggest cool tone person, like this pop of blue, the special shades, even the gold, when we see gold all the time, it's so pretty. It's just so smooth. The formula is great on it. Everything is just right about this palette. And even these little these 6 shades, the standard shades that are nude, you can just get some great looks. You can just do like the bomb smoky eye. The Skin Show shade is perfect. It's just a really good all-around staple palette. Okay, number 14. She is so brand new, but she is just like crept in and I don't know, landed somewhere in the middle. And I do love this quad so much. This is the Venus in Floors Voyeuristic Vixen Quad. And I mean, it is just gorgeous. I mean, it is giving me all the feels. Like I just kind of said about the Ritualistic Rose, like you just have some beautiful colors, even though it's a nude and a more, you know, subdued color story, it brings the punch. And this shade right here, which is in this gorgeous formula, it's the duochrome. It's this Rose Fire Nectar Honey. She did not come to play. Neither did the shade After Dusk. I mean, you just get some beautiful shimmers, and you just cannot lose with this quad. You get a great creamy matte that you can go ahead and contour the eye with. I mean, I love this quad. I think it's so gorgeous, and yeah, I just like, I didn't know where to put it, but I was like, it's somewhere in the middle. It's not towards the end. I love it. She has crept into my heart. I have worn it a couple times, and the longevity is great. Everything is just beautiful about it. And I just find like this shade works the best when you just kind of tap it on with your finger. But the formula is wonderful. I think even just this creamy matte just kind of sets it apart because it just is so buildable and it blends out very easily. I know I keep saying that this is where it gets hard, but like these next set of, what is this? 6 palettes I really struggled with. I mean, when I say I struggled. And number 13, this is like these next 6 shades, it was just kind of like they gotta go somewhere. Like you gotta put them somewhere. So coming in at number 13, we have the Mothership Dark Galaxy Star Wars. Yes. Whew. Oh my God, where do you even start? The Smoke Amethyst shade, the Venomous Void, the Saturnalia, Odyssey, Bronze Nebula. This is a vibe. It is a color story. I love plums. I love deep aubergines. I love reds. I love bronze shades. And I actually prefer bronze on my skin complexion versus gold. I mean, everything in this palette is just gorgeous. It's curated well. The color story is just amazing. I love this palette. And I think only one shade was actually really a repeat, maybe 1 or 2, which was in the Metamorphosis palette, which is the shade Smoke Amethyst. I don't have Metamorphosis because, like I said, you can get those shades across basically everything. This is just such a great color story. I love this. Like, that's all I can say. Coming in at number 12 is Galactic Gold. So the other Pat McGrath Mothership / Star Wars collab, Galactic Gold. And these shades are just gorgeous as well. And Galactic Gold has that little hint of green. And then just, oh my gosh, anything that has corruption in it, I'm loving that shade. It is great. It has a great formula. You can build it up, you can blend it out because it's that creamy metallic, satin metallic, whatever she wants to call it. I mean, the shades in here and this color story is just gorgeous. Even though some of the shades are kind of repeat, but you have these beautiful purples like Electron. I mean, the whole thing is a vibe. But like Corruption just does something special to this palette and just makes it take on a whole new life because it has that deep orange / green shift in the duochrome. And I mean, it's just so smooth. I love Corruption. I know you can't probably catch the shift at the moment, but let's see if you can catch it in the mirror. There, you might be able to catch it a little bit there. But it's just a gorgeous color story. And even though like I said, some of these shades are just, they're repeated and you can find them a little bit in Decadence and Metamorphosis and, you know, some other holiday palettes like the shade Corruption. You can find in Bronze Temptation. It's just something about the way these are put together that makes it just beautiful. Coming in at number 11, we have Bronze Temptation, and this is a Mothership Sublime version. This palette was a holiday palette from 2018, and I think it's gorgeous. Like, you know, like I just said, I just got through telling you all about the shade Corruption. Here it is. That was the first time it appeared. And then you also have these beautiful shades like Celestial that are taupe. And then you also have Provocatrix. So you have these beautiful, so it's very Christmassy, but this was a holiday palette. You also have the shade Burning Desire that's beautiful. That's that matte that was able to just give a nice definition to your eye. Supernova is gorgeous. You have, like I said, it's just a gorgeous color story. It's a little different. Even like I said, even though it's Christmassy, it's still just great. I love it every time I pull this palette out. It's a great fall palette, great winter palette, or just year round. But like I said, that shade Corruption is just something special. Coming in at number 10. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty, guys. So this is the Mothership Subliminal Dark Star. So this was a part of the same collection as this one from the holiday 2018. And it's gorgeous. Like, it is absolutely stunning. And it's just so different. It's deep and it's dark and it's sexy. And you have that blue, the interstellar icons. And this particular gold shade, this is, I want to say, the shade, let's see. I can't ever get it right. I want to say Intrepid. This is one of the best gold shades that I love. But then what also makes this palette so special is this shade, Deep Space. It's like the only gray matte that we have, and I love gray mattes. Like gray mattes, I feel like are my, it's like my friend that I don't see a lot, but as soon as we link up, like it's back on, like we never missed a beat. And then we also have Metropolis. I mean, it's just a gorgeous palette. And, like I said, it just gives me a little bit more than, the Interstellar Icon Quad. But I just love it. And it's a shame that this one is discontinued. She should do something along these lines again. Coming in at number 9, we have Bronze Ambition. And this is a Mothership Sublime palette. This is one of her original pans, the 6-pan palettes that came along with the platinum bronze that I showed you earlier. And this one is like a super basic color scheme, but you know what? I appreciate this palette so much because when I don't know what to do, I don't know what to put on my eyes, I just pull this out because I know that I'm going to get a great look no matter what shade I dip into, and it's going to look good. I'm going to feel good when I use it, and I'm not going to have any issues with performance. So that's why I like it. And I think it's just a great standout palette. Like, it's neutral, but you don't have to work hard to make the shade show up. It gives a nice sheen to the eye. I mean, this formula is just gorgeous. Like, you just can't beat it. And it's so soft and it's so buttery, these shades right here. And it looks stunning on the eye. So I love it. It's a basic palette, but if there was any basic palette that I want, it would be this one. Coming in at number 8, we have Mothership 6, Midnight Sun. First of all, this packaging, it's gorgeous, okay? I just feel like I'm sinking. I'm like, am I sinking? So this palette is just so beautiful, and it's grungy, it's earthy, and then you just have these nice jewel pops of color. And even though this particular, I want to say bronze shade, 005 shade, it's not the smoothest. It can be smoother, but it's gorgeous. I mean, it is just stunning. And first of all, like this green shade, Vermilious Venom, like, oh my gosh. Like, it's such an earthy tone palette, and I just appreciate it so much. And like I said, it's pretty neutral. Like, you just have some great colors right here. And it's such a great palette for fall or in the summer. I just love it so much. And the shimmer shades, they do so well. Also, the Blitz Amethyst. Is this Blitz Amethyst, or am I just making up names now? Okay, I have been making up names. Okay, so this is Vermilion Venom. We have this beautiful like clay red matte, and then we have Wicked Envy, which is the green that I just showed you. And then we also have the shade Taboo, and then we have Extreme Dusk. We don't have the black. It's like a smoky gray brown matte. I mean, it's just a really gorgeous palette, and it's so different to her lineup. So I really appreciate it, because even though it's like you want something that's kind of a spin-off of another palette, I really appreciate the different when she pulls out something that's just off the cuff, you know? Coming in at number 7, we have Bronze Seduction, which is Mothership 5. So ooh, if you saw my last ranking video, this was actually number 1. So, I mean, she has fallen, but I still love this one. I think everybody loves this palette. Everybody's like, this is the Mothership that made them want a Mothership. And I still love it. But, okay, so Blitz Flame is obviously like one of the shades that I just love so much. The special shades, first of all, if this was just like a Blitz Astro Quad, these 4 shades, it would be like the most bomb Blitz Astro Quad ever, because I feel like everybody says that these 4 shades were just the bee's knees of the special shades, and I cannot doubt them. So where this palette kind of goes left for me, so like, let me not make up names. we have the shade Bronze Flame right here. And then we also have the shade, it's called Guilty Pleasure. Like, I forgot these shades were even named. I was like, if you had asked me, does she have a shade named Guilty Pleasure? I'd be like, no. No, she does not. She don't have no shade named that. But yes, Guilty Pleasure, okay? So these two formulas, they just weren't great. They were very gritty. I think she tried a new formula. They had a lot of glitter in it. And it's like, you knew what it was supposed to be, but the execution was just okay. Now, I do love that we have Extreme Aubergine because, oh, that is just gorgeous paired along with this reds and these in here. And then the Skin Show Divine, and you have two beautiful, you know, brown mattes in here, but it is gorgeous. But, you know, over time, like, my feelings have changed towards this, but I still have so much love for Mothership 5. Coming in at number 6, we have Blitz Astro Quad and Nocturnal Nirvana, okay? Y'all already know I love some blue-green palettes, and this was like towards the top the last time I ranked it because it's just so different. I mean, honestly, like, it's a bomb quad. We got aquamarine, we got a green duochrome, we got a gold, we got a Blitz purple. I mean, it's just doing everything. You know, I got a little aquamarine right here, so it's just gorgeous. If you're wondering, if you see, like, that's not moisture, I have not removed the little films off of my palette. So if you're just wondering, you know, what's going on there, no, we're all good here. So, but I just think that this quad is gorgeous and it's just one of a kind. When you see this in her collection, you're like, well, what is that? Because, you know, we have so many roses and so many pinks and bronzes and everything. Like, this is just in a league of its own. All right, guys, this is it. We are at top 5, and some things have stayed in the top 5, and some things have transitioned out, as you've already been aware. So, what's new? What came in hot at number 5? And I love it. And I think you guys are going to already realize why I love it because I just talked about the other two sister palettes so much. And this is Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity. I mean, like, how could you not? First of all, we got Galactic Gold right here. We got Dark Star right here. And you got 6 new shades. So everybody got their chance to get their hands on the Star Wars shades. Because the Star Wars collection, they were the most bomb curated shades ever. Well, maybe not ever, but you know what I mean. And then we have 6 new shades. Like, it's just beautiful. It's well done. The pan sizes are just right. You can take this with you. It's flat. You can throw it in your bag and go traveling. It is a little big, but it's better than traveling with a big old Mothership palette. You know, you get a lot of variety. The price point was great when it came to this. And a lot of people got to try Pat McGrath, and normally it was just like, but you have the great formula that exists within her other palettes. And I mean, I just talked so much about Galactic Gold and Dark Stars. I don't need to say anything else with it, but you do have this beautiful shade Dragonfly. You have some new mattes like the Venetian Orchid, and then you also have Major Mahogany. Now, the Luna Champagne is cute, but I don't know. It's a little textured for me, so I don't really appreciate that particular formula. But I do like the greens because, I mean, I'm just craving greens from Pat McGrath. We have Megabyte and then Dragonfly. I mean, so this was just a great deal, a stunning palette, a genius idea. So everybody get their hands on those beloved Star Wars shades because those, you know, we already know the drama between the Star Wars shades. But I just love Celestial Divinity. Coming in at number 4, we have Mothership Subversive La Vie en Rose. Oh my gosh, like, first of all, this palette. This was one of the original 6-pan palettes as well. And I don't know where my card is, but Purple Rain, honey. The best purple matte ever, because it's not so much as a matte, but it's like a matte satin. And it's so vibrant, and you already know how hard it is to do that. This gold shade, one of the best golds ever. And then you have these beautiful, you know, plum matte shades. I can't think of the names. And then you have the first, what is this? Risque Rose. So this is the first time we saw this appearance. This color scheme was just the first of its kind. And then you also have Pale Fire Nectar. This is Pale Fire Nectar, first of all. It's beautiful. It's an inner corner highlight. It's beautiful all over the eyelid. It's just gorgeous. This was like the first of its kind when we saw this palette. And it has stolen my heart. And I think it just always has a place in my heart. So this is number 4, La Vie en Rose. Coming in at number 3, we have Mothership 3, Subversive. And this was actually my very first Mothership palette. This came out and I was like, I'm not paying $120 for nothing. But I got this as a gift and oh my God, you guys already know, like the color story is just bomb. The special shades are beautiful. And then so you have Night Creature, which is gorgeous. You also have Black Metal. And Black Metal is just like the perfect smoky eye going. You have Blitz Amethyst, which has that beautiful dual chrome shift to it. And then you also have the VR Pink. And you got Gigabyte. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And the color, the combinations are just endless. The possibilities are endless. It's just a gorgeous palette. Like, just straight up gorgeous. So number 3 is Mothership 3, Subversive. Right, down to the last 2. Can you guys even guess what I haven't even showed off yet? So coming in at number 2 is Mothership 4, Decadence. This is the palette that stole my heart, that made me really fall in love with Pat McGrath. And when I keep talking to you guys about that formula, that creamy satin metallic formula, this palette is full of them. Like, Now, most people say like, oh, well, it doesn't have a matte. You don't need a matte. You don't need a matte. First of all, Underworld, gorgeous. Hedonistic, gorgeous. Blue Blood, I mean the whole thing. Lapis Luxury, I mean, it's just like the whole thing. It's bejeweled. You have the most gorgeous tones. Every time I put on this palette, it's just gorgeous. The shadows just lay. You can get neutral looks. You can get fun pops of color. You can blend these shadows out as a matte. I mean, it just never fails me. Anytime I reach for this palette, I know my eyeshadow look is coming out bomb. Like, I don't have to worry about it. I mean, this palette is just so gorgeous. I wish she would do another Mothership. Not with these particular shades, but just this formula. I would be so happy. So, because this formula is just, it's so standout. It's so beautiful and it's so opulent. So Mothership 4 is coming in at number 2. All right, so have you guys guessed? Do you guys know what will be in the number 1 spot? What I have not shown yet. And this palette came in the last year or so, and it's just stolen my heart. I love it so much. And this is Mothership 8, Divine Rose 2. Oh my God. When I think of neutrals that I like to wear, neutrals like my everyday neutrals, outside of like just those bronzy shades and the ones that I showed you that was in Bronze Ambition, I love this palette. Like, this palette doesn't even stay inside the box. Like, I keep it in a little slit because if I don't know what to do, once again, I just pull out this palette. And it's gorgeous. You have so many fun pops of color, and you already know, because VR Extraterrestrial, baby, honey, blend it out all over the eyelid, pop a little bit of this in the crease. You have, look, I'm done. Like, I ain't even gotta talk to y'all about this. Like, this palette is just gorgeous. Like, are you kidding me? Like, okay, but honestly, this palette is just so well executed, okay? Because first of all, Eleganza, oh, it's that formula that I was just telling you about from Decadence. And then we have Divine Dust. Now, I love Divine Dust, but if we're going to be honest about Divine Dust gets a little bit of hard pan. I don't like that, okay? And then you have the Astro Pink Moon. Oh, come on. And the Gold Lust. And this Bronze Rosé is everything. Just put it all over the lid and go. And then the Extreme Burgundy in the Skin Show shade. It's wonderful. You can use this as blush. I mean, and then I was fortunate enough to get it in the rose gold packaging. Rose gold packaging. Forget about it. Just forget about it. In the it's my favorite. I'm like, who am I kidding? It's my favorite. Like, I love it. I love it. Like, you would have to pry this palette out of my cold, dead hands. All right. But that is number one. I have ranked all 25 of my Pat McGrath palettes. And let me tell you, it was not easy. It was hard. Whew, but it was so much fun to do at the same time. So I hope you enjoyed this video so much. And if you want to see what the rankings were before and you didn't catch that video, I'm going to link it down below. Try to flip it in the cards or something so you can see the previous ranking and how things have shifted around. And, you know, make sure you go and check out Beauty and the Frizz. Make sure you check out Yachty Beauty because they are uploading videos as well all this week. You want to check out what they have in store. Catch us on Instagram because we'll be posting over there as well. Check out other creators that are celebrating Mama Pat's birthday. Tell them that Dr. Ash sent you. And I had so much fun. Like, I love talking about Pat McGrath products, and I have so much more fun content for the rest of the week. Let me know down below what is your favorite Pat McGrath palettes and which ones you just can't live without. I don't want to lose any of them, but there's some that are a little bit more special than others. Give this video a big thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with another video, which will be tomorrow. And last but not least, please subscribe to my channel because you know I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. And with that being said, you already know what time it is. It's time for the chair dance. Chair dance. Hey, 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 chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Bye.